Well, hello there for those who are watching or perhaps watching later on. Actually, you should be watching this a little bit, don't you think, my friend? Sorry, I mean, Charles in Anime World. I think maybe you should be watching this most of all. But this is me, the angry anime fan, the despair reviewer, and this is a little bit of a rant video discussion about my disappointment, mostly in the Shokugeki no Soma. I said in a previous video that maybe I was only gonna do one more discussion, but and I actually just discovered that I haven't ranted about Shokugeki no Soma. I ranted a little bit about One Piece, so I think I need to rant a little bit to Shokugeki no Soma. And a lot of people are here gonna say to me, "Why have you been so disappointed by Shokugeki no Soma?" And I mean, it's true. If you go back to a lot of my previous reviews, you find out that most of them are just rants and screams. And I mean, all right, let's face. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I have liked Shokugeki no Soma for a long time. Okay, I read it before it became popular, and I was happy when it became popular because I liked the art and I liked the characters. The characters are actually one of the things that makes Shokugeki no Soma Shokugeki no Soma. It draws in you. The characters are simple and they're likable, and they get into it. But as the older the story has gotten, the slower the pacing has become. And that is one of its most negative qualities of Shokugeki no Soma. The pacing is horrendous. It is standard shonen jump pacing. However, for someone like me who do not like to see too much despair, it is absolutely horrendous. A little bit faster wouldn't actually be minded. So let's see here. When did Shokugeki no Soma of 2018 start and when did it end? Well, I think it was chapter 246 when it started, which was maybe the flashback when we finally saw a little bit of explanation of the arrogant Momo. And it was also the year when finally, Asami was defeated. His arrogance honestly aggravated me to the max. However, his defeat took so long in the pacing that it was not surprising that I ranted a lot. However, I did say a little bit that we saw some of Irina's skill here, and Irina has grown on some people for it all. So when that arc was finally over, I began to feel a little bit relieved because I said that, yes, it was finally over. But I had to agree, I did not like immediately the Grand Shuki against Central, mostly because it was extremely predictable. And what I mean by that is it ended just as everyone theorized it would. It ended with one good guy winning, one bad winning, blah, 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 over like that until it was only two left on each side. And honestly, that was predictable. Everyone saw that coming. And I had to say, why do not mind such things. I did complain about that. Come on, you could have at least have surprised us a little. Like, for example, making Megumi win against Momo. Yes, I know, I am still salty about that. You don't understand. Megumi is my favorite character in Shokugeki no Soma. So seeing that was just so very heartbreaking. I still haven't, even after a whole year has passed, I still have not healed from that emotional damage. Okay, that's just how much I overreacted in that situation. But that was 2017. That was not 18. At least not what I think. So yeah, I mean, Shokugeki no Soma didn't start great for me, and it didn't end great for me either. In between, it got a little bit okay, but then we came to the ranting again with the introduction of this new antagonist, the the false Saiba, so to speak. I mean, granted, that's not his name, but we'll just say it now. At the beginning, I thought that he would make a good villain, but now I just feel like he is annoying. Just like Asami, his arrogant knows no bound. In fact, it's worth noting one thing. Arrogance has always been the key power in every single antagonist of Shogun no Soma. And every time they have been defeated, they have been humbled. That is always the standard, at least for me, when it comes to Shogun no Soma. And I have not minded that. Nothing is more satisfying than seeing an arrogant piece of crap just being beaten in the way they never expected to. It has always been very satisfying to see that. However, given to the fact that it takes so long now before that happens, I have gotten a little bit more impatient about that. And also, the Dark Ships. I thought they would be good antagonists, but they haven't grown on me so far. And that's not saying that they have bad personalities. No, it's the fact that where did they come from? And granted, that's just the key of their personality. Where did they come from? They came from the dark, the side we never really see in the cooking world. So of course they are like shell-shocked veterans that have built themselves up on a battlefield that no one else has. Therefore, they are the aces in what they do. And I don't like that. I find that so unrealistic. And granted, we're not meant to have realism here. It's a manga, for crying out loud. However, I still feel a little bit annoyed about seeing these dark chefs. Their arrogance knows no bounds. They're the most arrogant people so far. And that makes just the fact that we have to wait for their defeat all the more aggravating. We got into the blue this year, and that was expected. Charles's Enemy World, the most Shokugeki no Soma. Lover is perhaps the wrong word. The guy who is the best Shokugeki no Soma manga reviewer out there, and also the guy who I think is the only one who's defending Shokugeki no Soma the most, at least what I think. Always said that we're gonna see blue, and indeed we did see blue. However, this blue, 3 times, is different than anything before, because now the Dark Chefs is there. And to be honest, as you've seen in my reviews, I have not liked the tournament start. It is slow. It is full of arrogance. We see a return of a character I really despise, and it just feels so freaking corrupted. I mean, this chairman is also an annoying person. He's saying he has no faith in light chefs, and it's so heartbreaking to see so many live chefs that are just standard character drawn. The dark chefs are not that way. They have each a distinctive drawing just to emphasize how much they are stronger than anyone else. And I don't like that. The only light chefs that are great are our heroes. And it just doesn't work for me. No, really, it doesn't work for me. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll still read Shokugeki no Soma. I mean, I don't know if I'll drop it. I don't think I will ever drop a manga. I mean, there's only been one manga I have read, and then I decided to drop. I don't remember which manga that was, though. I guess that's how you know how I see it. But it's just the fact that I will rant probably the entire 2019. And if the manga really do disappoint me in 2019 with such more despair, then yes, maybe I would drop it. But so far, I feel like it wouldn't. It's just the fact that I think one another dilemma of Shokugeki no Soma is that when Asami was defeated, a lot of us was beginning to question, wait, does this mean that Shokugeki no Soma is now going to end? I mean, I didn't want it to end like that, but mostly because it just feels so unsatisfying. It's a typical ending of shonen trope, but it just didn't feel right to me. But no, it didn't end. And yet at the same time, this new year has become very slow and not very great either. Shokugeki no Soma has a lot of potential to just go beyond everything else. But I still don't really like what we are seeing so far. it just feels like something is missing, and I don't know what that is. What do I want to see from Shokugeki no Soma? I want to see rival schools. I want to see rival battles. I want to see them taking a trip to people's homes and befriending each other, and more. And also another thing that has been very popular Shokugeki no Soma this year is the fact that we have slowly gotten into romance. And the thing is romance really a trend in Shokugeki no Soma? Well, it was implied even in the very first chapter that romance is something that we are going to see. So maybe, yeah, maybe we are going to see romance. We just have to accept it. But will that be good on some characters? You're asking the wrong person. I don't know. So yeah, that's my quick thought on Shokugeki no Soma. I haven't liked where it's building up. But hopefully, when this arc is going on, it's gonna wrap up good. Another thing about this new antagonist, by the way, is the fact that I feel like he is nothing more than a mentally unstable child. Think about it. He has an abusive childhood, and he looked up to Yoshiro as his father, who wasn't a father, and he just wants to marry the best girl because he feels like he can be the best. He wants to become someone else. When he loses, and believe me, he will lose, he will have a mental breakdown because he's just that unstable. All right, anything else to say? What is the good points of Shokugeki no Soma? Well, the good point is that the art is wonderful. I will always say that. And although the story is not good always the time, the characters are what drives the story. And they have never, ever been ceased to be interesting. And I know I'm saying that when I'm saying that, then what about all the arrogant people? Don't get me wrong, they have distinctive art that I guess that what makes them interesting. I just don't like their arrogance. Other than that, they're pretty interesting. The main trio of it all are very interesting indeed. So again, Shokugeki no Soma has potential to go further. It's just that we do not know where it will head. It is all up to us now for that. That's my quick rant about Shokugeki no Soma. What are your thoughts on it? Are you disappointed of what happened? Are you great? And Charles, if you are watching this one, which I doubt you are, give me your thoughts if you have any.